Alright, hey everyone, welcome back to more Flesh and Bad, and I am getting ready for Nationals, so this is going to be probably like the last video, I guess, before I kind of make my trip. We're going to be playing some Marlynn today, but I'm actually not going to be showing you the deck list. If you want to try to kind of like reverse engineer from some of the games that you see today, feel free. But yeah, we're just going to do some practice with like my actual like real Nationals list, and then kind of like just kind of see what we feel. Still kind of working on like the last like handful of cards, but I'm mostly locked on this list. And yeah, the list has been treating me pretty well. No real complaints, and it seems like it's actually doing pretty well into some of the top decks, which is pretty nice as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the games. All right, starting off into a Victor. Looks like they're a little bit more potentially fatigue oriented. Seems reasonable to just kind of rip the Kraken here. I kind of actually want to like hold back the big game trophy shot just so we can like potentially keep an arsenal here. Yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Kraken. I kind of want to just get like a double load here and then like maybe an extra arsenal, which is like why I don't really want to play this. All right, load double Kraken seems pretty all right. And since they're fatigue Victor, I think we want to definitely attack in here. And said something like that. I think there's like an argument to sending the trophy shot there, but not gonna sweat it. Okay. They're getting a Ripple out of their hand, which is not probably gonna matter here. Interesting. Okay. 7 damage on the board. They have CNC. Seems good to me. Next hand's a little bit awkward for dodging CNC purposes. But we could probably make do here. I think we probably just give up like 1 3-hook plus hook. Alternative is we like sink the shallow water and like let them blow up the King Kraken, but I feel like it's probably not worth it. I'm probably assuming here that they're a bit more of like a fatiguey Victor, so I think doing this is kind of reasonable. Though losing all the 3-hooks in the opener is like a little unfortunate. I'd be very surprised if I got pummeled here. Alright, let's go ahead and rip another 3-hook. We could even trench away something here, but I don't think there's a need to. Actually, hold on. Sorry, we want to probably send shallow water here just so we can keep double arsenal or threaten the idea of double arsenal. Should still be getting in for some damage here though. Let's see if they have disruption this turn. Okay, disable. Put a card from their arsenal on the bottom of its own stack. So we don't actually have to So if they put the Kraken on the bottom, that's obviously bad for us. I think the play, so we want to try to preserve as much damage in the deck as possible. So keeping the red fin and harpoon in the deck is pretty important. Assuming that this is like some kind of fatigue Victor, which we don't aren't like 100% sure of, I guess. They could just be on like some weird equipment setup. Let's go ahead and give them Sea Lace, I think, a little early. It does feel like a little bit unfortunate, but it's kind of what it's there for, stopping the on-hit. Plus, this lets us go like 16 on the Kraken next turn, which is pretty enticing. We could end up giving them a gold if they do manage to block out, but currently I only have like 8 armor on board, plus maybe like double react from hand or like double block from hand or something. Could be possible. Looks like we got at least 1 block card here. Oh boy, they're giving us the fridge. Okay, sure. You have to be a bit cognizant of fatigue at this point, though. Interesting. Ooh, overcrowded. Okay, sure. Drawing a cranial. Okay. Cartilage crush, cranial crush, thumb. I can't tell if this is like actually like This might actually be like a real victor list. I know like some people are playing around with Cartilage Crush. Kind of interesting. Okay, sending a Cranialist, sure. So I think we'll take the opportunity to just block out here. Ideally, we just kind of hit off Quiver. That seems fine. Losing 2 Harpoons is like a little painful here, though. I think I just want to try to set double Arsenal. So let's gamble. All right, no gamble, but that's fine. I kind of want to just not block with that one, just so we can like preserve it in the deck. Okay, first estate, but they don't have a second gold, which is good for us. Them not starting on like round, I think is quite nice. But yeah, I'm assuming that this isn't like a fatigue victor now that I kind of like look at the list. It's maybe just like a little bit grindier of a victor or something like that. Who knows? Lots of victor developments going on right now. Okay, don't. So we can block with the King Shark, which is tempting. It would play around Testivar Grip, which we've not seen any copies of. I kind of almost want to try to gamble and try to hold this, ideally. So let's go ahead and not block here. Might give them... Debating whether it's correct to even try to block the Millers, but I think the answer is probably no. All right, they're crushing Cranial. Okay, not the end of the world. Okay, let's go and turn over gold tip, and then we can at least threaten their gold here. Could even overpitch the King Shark if we're like super concerned about Testifying Grip, but I don't think I'm like that worried. They Testifying Grip us, they Testifying Grip us. I don't think it's worth like losing one of the best cards in our deck. All right, now it looks like we're getting the fridge. Seems good. All right, looks like they're going to go ahead and give us 11 here. So we chewed through the fridge, which is nice, and they have a 3-card hand. So that's good. Now I just have to be a little bit concerned about what they're going to be playing this turn. Okay, CNC. I think we just probably want to preserve some deck density here and just bottom the King Shark. It's probably the easiest line here. So keep it in the deck. Dodge the CNC, we go to 21. Not too bad. Trying to think. So actually, this is kind of interesting. I think this is like a Goldfin turn. Goldfin turn, maybe Arsenal Shallow Water, try to get a blue off the top. We have used all our 3 oaks, which is like a little bit of the awkward part this game. We also have a port side on top now. Actually, wait, port side might change the play. So we port side, we draw into the blue, we discard the Goldfin, we load Shallow Water, pitch cheating. Interesting. But I think it's maybe better to just do this so that we can like threaten to win the wager on the cheating. Because this way we get like a pre-hook. They could grip us and then we like give them the gold, but I think that's kind of fine. Playing on Testivar Grip is always a fun time. So we could have like port-sided the gold pin, play the Shallow Water, but then we're sending like the Shallow Water for 12 and not keeping an Arsenal, which is like a little bit weird. Kind of an interesting decision point out. The port sides made it kind of a little bit weird. I think if I was playing against like most other heroes where like the Arsenal like definitively mattered, I'd probably actually try to go for the Shallow Water there. But giving Victor gold is like always a little suspect. I guess Victor already has like the prerequisite amount of gold to try to estate us. giving us the tech plating. Seems good to me. All right, Staunch is kind of to be expected here. They're pitching in a state, though, which I think is great for us. Maybe another direct here? Okay, sure. So now we got to decide whether or not we want to try to discard to the cheating, which I think is... They did pitch in a state. Huh. I don't think they're really a fatigue victor, too. It kind of just seems like they're more like value victor with like skull cap and stuff. I think I'm supposed to maybe not be too concerned about fatigue at this point. And I also didn't like super fat Decklist. So I think if I was like worried about fatigue, I would not discard the arrow. But because I'm not, I think it's fine. All right, this is kind of like a little bit of an awkward return fire hand. That's why I think this card is like sometimes so mid into Victor. I don't know. I've been like, this card has been like kind of on the chopping block lately. But I suppose we will discard it anyways. It's like, it's really good for like fatigue value, but I sometimes like struggle just like with how clunky this card is. Like it's definitely like more of like a second cycle card is kind of how I think about it. I don't know. This card is like very close to being cut, but I've had like a lot of scenarios where this card has been good. So like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a small sample size. Like the vibes on this card are off, I guess is the only thing. They've always been off, but I guess like trying new things, you know. All right, looks like they're giving us the gauntlets and ripple. Okay, probably getting like another D-react plus like quick dodge here, I had to guess. Okay, no quick dodge. That's great for us. So let's go ahead and take their rouse, I think, here, just to... I mean, it's probably like the same either way, but them having like one less rouse in the deck, I think is kind of comforting. Oh, another return fire. Oh, wait, this one's actually gas, though. Okay, hold on. Wait, maybe I need to do a complete 180 on return fire. Okay, that seems good. Definitely a lot better with Trench is what I've been figuring. I've tried to like run this card without Trench, but like it's even like harder to hit then, and it's like, oh god. Okay. We're gonna send Shallow Water in here for 12. Pretty good. Return Fire being like a 0 for 7 is kind of insane. But like it's like a 0 for 7 that like requires you to not run Tunic. Kind of interesting. We're doing pretty well against this Victor though. You've not really let them have a ton of gas. Okay, the Riches is a little bit scary though. Could definitely be a problem. That being said, they've already used one visit the Gold Main Estate and they pitched another. So they need the third one here in order to like really get the value. Okay, pitching a Cartilage Crush, interesting. All right, just into a Boulder Drop. And since we know that they're on plating, we don't really have to be like too scared to like pummel here. All right, we've used all our 3 hooks, so you used all our return fires. So I think it's like fairly reasonable to just give them New Horizons here. Because we've already gotten like most of the value out of this. I don't think we like necessarily need more New Horizons value. Seems like a decent enough opportunity to just get the block in with it. Sometimes it's like a bit of a liability if you get like too late in the game and you're like trying to keep arsenals or like stuff like that. All right, let's go on port side. Redfin, threaten the gold again. Still playing around Testament and Grip here, which is good. For what it's worth, we've not seen Test. I wonder if they're even running Test. Like, it seems like they're more on like their reacts and stuff, which is kind of interesting. Definitely feels like it's more like the Fatigue Victor than like normal aggro Victor. Or maybe they're just doing like a light Fatigue package or something like that. I'm not sure. All right, very good hand for us. Okay, Spinal will put a little bit of a damper on this. But that's fine. We can just block out for a little bit. Giving them 3 cards here is like a little bit painful, especially since we have the Codex, but it shouldn't be the end of the world. Let's see what we can turn over here. For what it's worth, like they did have an Overcrowd in Arsenal, so like us Codexing them there, even if they didn't have any Disruption, was like probably not amazing. Good hand. Very good hand if we want to try to just block out and send a bit of value. All right, so we still have a lot of D-Reacts to fight through, assuming that they're on... Oh boy, they still have a lot of D-Reacts left in the deck. I'm assuming that they're on at least like 2 Staunch plus 1 of each of these copies. Okay, there's final. Little unfortunate, but not the end of the world here. All right, let's go and turn over... Let's get our gold pile just like nice and healthy here. And turn over like a gold to tip. The gold pile will be useful in the late game if we just want to try to close the game out with gold pins, assuming that they're more like fatigue oriented. We are going to give them back the overcrowded here, but this should be fine. Not the end of the world. They haven't made a seismic this turn, which like makes it a lot better. Because now we just get to go like King Shark at their hand, and they can't block with any like attack actions from hand if they have them. But yeah, it definitely seems like it's a lot more of like a defensive victor. Oh, choosing Command and Conquer instead. Okay. Sure. All right, discarding Golden Sun makes sense to me. Maybe they just want to try to sit on like CNC for like a future turn where we're not like disrupting them or something. Okay, they're the test of our grips, sure. Both at the same time. All right, visit on top. Sure. Okay. The only awkward part about this is we were pondering into a throw caution, which I guess we can just like trench away, so it's not even that awkward. Still need to get a little bit used to playing with trench, but it's like surprisingly decent here. Okay, and this actually kind of helps us like pay for codex, which is sick. What do we have left for buffs in the deck? We have cheatings. We used both return fires. We still have like all of our trophy shots, right? Unless I'm missing that. I think we like pitched them fairly early in the game. Okay, so I think this still works out. My fellows are getting a little bit closer, but we still have like a little bit of work to do on, I guess, the fatigue front. I think we're getting ready for like a pretty big combo turn coming up here soonish. Used all our codexes, all our 3 oaks. All our sunkens. I'm just trying to see like what we still have left in the deck. Still have a lot of harpoons left, which is good. All right, blocking with CNC. The nice part about trench is just letting you like dodge CNC if they just keep trying to like rebuy them or whatever. All right, so there's their visit. We take their spinal. Get to 7 gold, which is kind of funny. So we might just try to crack and kill them here. We also don't have to be like too overzealous. I don't know, it kind of depends. Curious if they send the CNC here or if they send the visit. It looks like they're probably just gonna go for the CNC. Which I think I'm kind of fine with. So now we just rotate off. This is looking pretty good. Sure. Take 5. Life totals are definitely getting a little bit closer here, but we're also sitting on 7 gold, so like it's kind of fine. All right, we pitched 2 big red harpoons, by the way. Okay, it seems like they may want an arsenal or something. Sure. All right, let's go ahead and crack a little bit of gold here. I think I'm going to try to go for... Oh my god. Triple trophy shot. Okay. I don't think we can triple trophy shot this turn. But I'll try to do a single trophy shot. Bit of an interesting hand. All right, let's keep cracking gold until we find something... Like, I ideally want to slap this on, like, a harpoon. Which we should be able to dig for now. Alright, there's our harpoon. Kind of just want to make sure we're cashing in the value out of these trophy shots. I think going like 2 gold here should be relatively safe. Lots of cards in the hand here. Let's pitch a trophy shot just so we kind of have it back in the deck. Okay, it looks like they're They could have actually blocked that turn if they wanted to. They go like 3-15, block out, play sigil. We're sending like 14, so I think they could have lived there if they wanted to. Kind of curious to take a look at their deck real quick. Looks like they're on one shelter here. Huh. The distributions of D-Rex here are kind of fascinating. So they're like two shelters, one sink, one faith. Okay, very, very strange deck, but it looks like they did have like two copies of Staunch. Okay, I have no idea what's going on here, but it looks like that was like most of the reacts. Like next couple turns, we maybe try to like convert and like kind of. But yeah, maybe next couple turns we try to like convert, and try to, I don't know, do a little bit better. But I think that was like a pretty decent victory game. Let's go ahead and get into the next one. All right, playing against Gravy looks like they are on 61 cards. Sure. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit a quiver off the top. Okay, second on top. That's probably bad information for a Gravy opponent, but that should be fine. I think we're probably just going to Arsenal the Yellowfin and pass here. Don't think we necessarily need to set like double Arsenal here. All right, port side seems good. Oh, discarding Loot the Hold. Okay, into a Command and Conquer. Sure. So let's go ahead and give them 6 here. Send Yellowfin at them. There's like a risk that we don't keep an Arsenal here, but they don't have an ally, so like maybe we can kind of catch them off guard and make a gold. Seems somewhat reasonable. Oh, you know what we could do? We can also just like Sea Lace Arsenal portside pass. It's maybe a bit better. And then we're like also IPing with the Sunken. So if their next hand's also pretty awkward, then this gets pretty good. Still unsure if I want these in this matchup. Kind of trying some new things today. We'll see if they end up being good. They could also be disastrous here for sure. But yeah, Sea Light's turning an arrow face up is always fun. I feel like that's like kind of one of the cool things that you can do with New Horizon. Like, it does definitely feel like maybe the hero was like initially designed to be like a New Horizon hero. I think I'm just gonna gamble on the throw caution here and see what's on top. Okay, third, sure. Pretty good. Played the Murderous Rabble. Playing out the Chum, sure. Seems good. Go ahead and just kill the Chum here. Having this port side in Arsenal is like a bit awkward. But I think we probably have to make the best of it. Worst case scenario, we can always like trench it away if need be. Okay, Codex is good. No allies in the mid is also quite comforting. Oh, they're playing Mutiny. Fascinating. That's a cool card. It's pretty sick for Victor, right? I want to hold the Codex ideally. I think the play is just like block 6 and trench here. Sure, that seems fine. I want to like hold both of these cards. Ooh, Restless Bones, okay. Sunken's normally a lot of value in this matchup, but it's probably fine to just get the 3 block in. You like turn over CNC just so they can't buy it back in the late game if they have a Remembrance. Seems reasonable enough. Go ahead and just Arsenal this Codex. Ooh, Return Fire, nice. I got some goodies in this hand. Still unsure if I want this card in this matchup, but it is kind of nice to have just as like a 4 block. All right, coming in with the second Conqueror. Let's go ahead and just give him like Return Fire plus this. That also opens us up to just like 3-oaking next turn if need be. So this seems fine. And then no arrow, unfortunately, this turn, but that's okay. Still, like, baseline of 4 block is how I try to think about this card. I try to be on the positive side that at least at minimum blocks 4, so it's probably a good card. I think I'm kind of fine just like 3-oaking here. One thing we can do, oh, actually, yes, I think we will actually do that. You know, like trench away the codex or the 3-oak for a resource here. Do like a nice little double load. Keep this endless face up in case they do find their allies, which seems like they've really been starved for allies this game. But we're also not gonna like give them just like free space to play them out, which is the nice part here. Like if they have any in hand, this is gonna be pretty rough. And like having endless face up is actually kind of nice. Yeah, the only downside is that you can't like trench it away if they do go for like the last conk or like another CNC or something, but so be it. Shouldn't be too bad. Right, hit them with the Kraken. Okay, them sitting on Blood and Water, I feel like for this song makes a bit of sense. Kind of still fine with this though. All right, sure, double Blood in the Water makes sense to me. Kind of would explain like the sequence of awkward draws they've had. Might try to look for like an arrow off the top here. The funny thing about Endless is that a lot of gravies will also like, ooh, Golden Skull. Wow. I know people played this card. Crazy. This counts as a gold, so I guess they can like gravy, which is kind of cool. I guess let's start with the Murderous Rabble. Just see what happens. They do also have the Mage Master Boots, so we have to be like a little bit cautious here. All right, so we know there's no arrow on top. Are we okay with that? We might be okay with that. Let's actually just send Endless at face and just make them block it is kind of the idea. I try to be like a bit aggro with Endless because if they give me cards here, that's still good for me, right? Like I'm not like super attached to the Endless. But it like the on hit here is like pretty threatening for them. Actually, was I not supposed to Endless here? I think I wasn't supposed to Endless. This might have been greedy Endless. That's fine. I think what I was supposed to do instead was just Arsenal the Red Lord. Yeah, that's probably a smarter play knowing that they have a bunch of allies in the bin. Okay. I can see that. At least he did get some cards out of them, so it's not like a total wash. I guess we can just buy back the Endless here. I think that was definitely wrong, though. For sure. Definitely try to get a little bit more aggressive with my Endlesses than I probably should be. So let's go for here. We can flip this with Sea Lace and then do like block 6. Or no, hold on. Actually, we block 6. Do something like this, and then we can do like Redler flip into Rabble them Codex of Frailty. It seems pretty good. So now we're kind of setting up like double arrow, which is kind of nice. 2 arrows are better than 1. All right, we got a cheating counter off the top. This should be fine. Again, we're kind of just sending this mostly for damage at this point. Right, Codex. But do buy them back a Conqueror, which is like a little awkward. But we still get to deal with their Sawbones, which I think is important. I still have to like discard a card here. All right, let's go ahead and endless down the Sawbones here. Okay, they did get it back. Conquer, good info. Yeah, I wonder if there's a turn, like a world where we don't give them back the Conqueror there. Because it is like kind of bad fatigue math. I think the major misplay of this game was like not just like arsenaling the endless that one turn. This matchup's still pretty hard. Okay, looks like they're gonna pop gravy for, or they're gonna pop the gold ally token thing for gravy. Sure. All right, so I think we're gonna try to block 7 here. I think it's time to just give it up the Seal Ace. Block 7, we can hold these 2 cards in case they want to try to like hook the Sawbones. And ideally, I want to just C4 salvage one of the allies. I think it makes a bit of sense to just give up the Seal Ace there, though. Especially when like 2 conks are now gone, assuming that they don't have like endless or whatever. All right, Leyline and pitch, fantastic. You have like a nice little pitch stack going here. So now you can just C-lace this, or C-floor this, chum, and then endless. But having the double arsenal set up here is quite nice. Oh, they mutiny steal my gold. That's kind of nasty. Mutiny is such a funny card. Sure. I don't think I can do anything about that. Right? If I get like gravy instant speed, that would be kind of cool. Mutiny is a pretty cool card. I think this card like makes a fair bit of sense in gravy. Just because you can like manipulate your gold total a lot more than I feel like other heroes can. Pretty interesting. I feel like we're still in like a pretty decent spot here though. So worried about like a remembrance potentially for these boats. We can just like give 6 block here, I think. I think we want to try to preserve the blues in the next. Let's go ahead and just give up these 2. All right, then we can just endless down the gravy here. Or the chum, rather. Basically the same guy. There's also like some merit to just sending red lore and like leaving the oh, discarding a Humperdinck. Okay, fascinating. Sure. Maybe we're still gonna just like endless down the gravy or the chum. I guess maybe they just wanted to get it out of their hand. Fair enough. All right, so they did like board like pseudo fatigue. It seems like the Humperdinck definitely is like a indicator that they're probably like at least aware that this is a plan. Okay, coming in with the swell. They still can't play out the Humperdinck, so we do have like a bit of time to try to like turn it over at some point. You can go ahead and just take a little bit of damage here. I want to see what they do next. Oh, Call to the Grave, sure. So what does that mean? Maybe they're going to try to do like a double ally turn? You know, Swabby, sure. I want to like get rid of this codex almost. But I suppose like what we could do is just like block, like swap the endless and the codex in our arsenal. And then we can just like codex them next turn. So like arsenal the codex instead, hold the other endless just in case. Okay, we found another endless just in case, sure. We can block 11 on this hand. It's looking pretty nice. Would ideally like to try to find sunken or some effect to try to turn that over, but we might not get the luxury. Worst case scenario, we can like endless it down for 8 or something. Still got some room to do stuff here. And like playing out Humperdinck is kind of expensive. So as long as they're not taking too much damage, we should probably be okay here. Still have one endless in our deck as well. It's good to know. Okay, coming in with a Conqueror, sure. Seems good. Thinking like Dead Threads, Sawbones or something like that. Probably should hook this. Yeah, makes sense to me. Alright, so now I'm gonna stun the Sawbones. Oh, but the problem is their arsenal's not clear. Oh, sucks. It's still fine-ish. But giving them back another conch feels bad. Maybe should have just arsenaled. Drawing the codex there I felt was weird. Maybe arsenaling codex is like a little bit of a trap. Could definitely be the case. Because now we have to block like another conqueror and that kind of sucks. Guess you can still block another conqueror. Not the worst thing in the world. So if we just like block, maybe I put too much value on like the codex there. If we just like blocked with the codex, maybe it would have been better. But I kind of like try to like hold this as like a priority in case we need to like buy back endless. But maybe that's like wrong. Okay, so they can like play out a dink here potentially. So it's gonna take one. See what they gotta do. I feel like they're probably trying to go for like a dink play here. Maybe. Seems like they got a lot of resources. They're like 3 short though, unless they have like something to play from Arsenal that would like give them float. And it's still a little bit short. Huh. Tipple, sure. Alright, another rigor mortis, sure. Take a little bit of damage. You might just try to like slam the dink and hope it lives. I think what they do on like 2 blues, but maybe safer play is just play rigor mortis or something. Alright, play out the rigor. It could even go like from double rigor or something, or like I guess they still have the boat in Arsenal, right? So we still got a little bit of work to do. I just need to remember that what their arsenal is. Should be good here. Actually, go boat. Like, couldn't they have like boated first? Interesting. Okay, maybe they just want a double ally. Sure. Fine. I just want to get this gold tip out of my hand. Seems reasonable. You have to be a little bit scared of this rigor mortis though. I think it's gonna be like a little bit painful here. Definitely seems like they're kind of prepared for fatigue. Okay, so we can block 8 and then block another 3 on ally. I think the thing I learned about this matchup is like Codex is actively bad. Which is, I guess, a good thing to learn before nationals, probably. So if like I don't give them back the CNC here and I just like block the Codex, I'm in like so much better shape, right? Yeah, it's definitely like me messing up more than anything. I don't think we're still in like that bad of shape, even with the punts, though. Mostly just worried about fatigue at this point, especially with the whaler. We should have enough life to hopefully work with here. Jerry Bones, sure. Discarding another rigor mortis. So they can still like CNC me into rigor mortis. I think we take the 2 here. They do need to get like the resources they need to kind of play out the whaler here, is at least the comforting thing. Right, playing another rigor. Sure. Ooh, Avast. Okay. Here. They shouldn't hopefully be able to hook here for what it's worth. It's because they don't know that we have a 2 block in hand. But yeah, them having double ally out is definitely a bit annoying. Right, C4 salvage is good if we can get the space to resolve it here, but they still are sitting on the conch. Might just have to like block 8, eat 6, and then try to flip the dink. It's probably our best bet here. So I think dink, how many allies have we seen so far? We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 12. Definitely some punts this game though. Been playing Fab a lot today. The nice part is we do still have the block value on New Horizons so that we don't like die immediately if they present a ton of damage. It could be hard for them to like push it here if they don't have a ton of like gold on board set up. All right, Bastion on top, that's fine. I think we just have to take the damage here, unfortunately. They might be trying to line up like Conch into CNC or something. It's definitely possible. I wouldn't be surprised if that's why they're kind of sitting on it here. Because they've had like a couple turns where I think they could have played it right. Things to think about. But yeah, probably Codex is more of a liability than it's worth unless we like know that they're keeping an arsenal right. It's a good thing to learn for this matchup though. And discarding riches to tipple is very funny. Could still get conked here, so I cannot block. I think they go blue into rigor, I think is the play, probably. Sure. So we're going to be eating a bit of damage. They're going to be able to get a bit of gold gen out of this, but I think that's still fine. Definitely could have played this a little bit tighter. Should definitely swing with the, I guess they can like play out Oyston and swing if they want to. Sure. Yep, hook makes a lot of sense here. Fortunately, we don't have any gold to steal, so we don't really care. All right, Oyston. Yep. All right, they come in for 9, but we get to flip the dink and then endless. So I think we're actually kind of stabilized here. And maybe we'll eventually get a chance to play out this red lure. As long as they don't have a remembrance here, which we have not seen yet, we should actually be kind of fine. So the nice part is they just didn't get the space to play out the Dink, which I feel like is more common than you'd think. It's hard to like get the resources to like play it out and also swing with it. Things to think about. This would be a kind of sick hand if we could like pivot off the Endless somehow. You like return fires and Kraken or something like that. Be kind of crazy. I think we just need to sit on the Endless for a little bit longer here, unfortunately, though. Just trying Golden Skull off the top, sure. Interesting. All right, I think we just need to kind of not die here, and we should be fine. You'll still have to worry about their sunken treasures making them a bunch of gold. You know, it looks like they are on sunken treasure. I think I saw one in pitch earlier. The question is like, how many threats do they have left? It's a bit hard to kind of keep track of, especially with like the golden skulls. Maybe it's a little bit weirder. Funny thing is with return fire. Oh, the chair they mutiny. Yes, sure. Mutiny and CNC is kind of funny. Okay, that's not too bad though. You can just go ahead and do this block, endless them down again. Still mildly concerned about fatigue, but I'm not sure what they actually kind of have left in the tank at this point. We know they have 2 Call the Graves left in the deck, 2 Avastes, probably a blue Tipple, maybe some number of Loot the Holds, 1 Murderous Rabble, probably 2 Ley Lines or something like that. I guess the real question is like, how many allies do they have left at this point? Okay, do you have another Swabby, it looks like? Sure. Alright, Swabby, Leyline, yep. Should still have the block value to deal with this, though. Alright, Call to the Grave. We still have like 1 more Swabbing in the deck or something. They could also do like the back alley break lane or whatever. Wait, what did they get? Butterfly Call the Grave resolving. Wait, what did they just call the grave? Hold on. Am I losing it? Wait, did they just do nothing? Oh, they can they do nothing with Call the Grave? Oh, I don't think it's a May. Wait, okay, maybe I just don't know what they got. Interesting. But they could did they get the Swappy? Maybe I missed that. Okay, interesting. Okay, so we still have some blocking to do. Swappy's gonna be coming in for 9, that's fine. Let's take 3 gun and a 6. Then we can just throw the hand in front of this. Sure, Golden Skull as well. Kill the Swabby. question is, how many allies do they have from this point? Oh, nice to see sunken treasures. I don't think we flipped anything with their sunken treasures. I feel like good gravies will often not give you like the opportunity to. I think we just drew like the one sunken treasure early. So I can't remember if we've just been pitching this, but it seems kind of interesting. All right, let's go ahead and do. They've opted to pass the turn here. So that gives us ample room to just send a red lure harpoon here. I can maybe even just like quiver, or no. There's a couple things we could consider doing here. We can consider like going off the endless if we wanted to. I don't even know if that's worth it. Alright, so they sunk in, make a goal, that seems fine. But yeah, I think... Not quite sure if it's the time to go off the endless. I'm gonna give it like a couple more turns. We'll see. The right time will show itself here. Just don't think it's right now, maybe. Still a little bit scared if they just go... I kind of want to like know that they don't have any allies in the back. Okay, interesting. So, with 2 endlesses in the bin... like trench away the endless and kind of see maybe what's on top. All right, Codex is interesting. Let's put an arsenal the King Shark now. Because if they don't want to do anything, then we don't also have to do anything. That's King Shark. Should hopefully ruin their turn here. I mean, from this point, we can kind of just fatigue them out, presumably. The on-hits are going to start adding up here. Okay, loot the hold, call the grave prismatically. I'm actually kind of fine with this just because we took their 1 attack for the ley line, which is, I think, good. And I can arsenal the Codex. May do a bit of blocking if they end up having like an ally or something. Okay, looks like they don't. So let's go ahead and do this. I guess we can like quiver. Just get the cards out of our hand. Oh, I guess we don't get anything with Codex now. Sure, that's fine. I didn't expect to hit twice off the top. That's probably on me for not keeping track of my pitch stack. It's still kind of fine because we like don't. Kind of funny. I kind of expected to like not hit at least once there. But it still like preserves arrows in the deck, so I don't know. Still probably fine. Give them a good game. I think that's like kind of how the gravy matchup goes a lot of time, is you just kind of like try to run them out of allies until they eventually start waffling. I think the big mistakes that I made this game were like not giving them back the conks twice. I think like I need to like devalue Codex a bit in this matchup is what I'm kind of discovering. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can get a... All right, starting off into Dio here. I think I'm just going to quiver and see if we yellow an arrow off the top. So I kind of want to just arsenal this one. Make it a little bit of filtering in. All right, so we know we have a blue on top, which means I'm like kind of incentivized to just kind of dump the hand here. Sure. Because we're drawing at least one blue next turn, so we should be able to fire this off, assuming that we draw another one. Okay, so that's about expected. We can maybe block with this if we need to. Send pre-med. Kraken seems good. Okay, boom grenade off the top is nasty. All right, oh sorry, this boom grenade from hand. Okay, not as bad. Okay, go ahead and block a little bit here. It kind of depends how much I want to block here. I might want to take this like a little slow and just block out the boom grenade, but setting 13 is not bad. It depends. Like one thing they can kind of do with Theo is like potentially get them into a fatigue state if they're a bit more, if they're a bit too aggressive. So like blocking out boom grenade I think is like actually pretty reasonable. Okay, pulse wave. Sure. So what do we do here? We could unironically just give them the fridge. Give them the fridge also blocks out symbiosis, which is kind of like This bridge block is getting 10 value on board, which is pretty good. But we could also just like do this and then like C4 salvage and just take a turn off, which I think is also fairly reasonable. I think we can get maybe better utility out of our fridge. Let's go ahead and just block out a little bit this turn. Don't want to be too aggressive here. Kind of go with the flow a bit. Looks like they're maybe looking for an item off the top, which is also good. So now the question is, do we want a second gold or do we want to block 2? Interesting thought. They did just banish super aggressively. Tackle Foundry Heart. I feel like there's a strong argument for blocking 2. But having the gold against Dio is like fairly nice. I don't know if we need like more than one gold, because like once we start breaking through the armor, maybe this gold becomes redundant. I think I'm just gonna get the 2 block value in here. Just take a little bit of an off turn while I have the boom grenade out and just like make them do something. Is a gold worth 2 damage? I think in a lot of scenarios it is. Especially if it's like early on in the game, I think that's true. The question now is, do we actually want to dedicate ourselves to like playing defensively here? Or do we want to be perhaps a bit more aggressive? This hand also is kind of stinky. Like the best thing we can do with this hand is like trophy shot, launch the Kraken, which is the aggressive play. Yeah, let's take 5 damage and just see what they do next. Maybe that will determine it, but leaking 5 is kind of awkward. Like you can definitely fatigue Dios, but it's not like the primary strat you should be going for. I read backup protocol, sure. It's kind of like a backup plan more than anything. Like if the game goes like horribly wrong, I don't know if you want to like start the game trying to fatigue Dio. Okay, if they're gonna play another boom grenade though, I'm just gonna try to block out again. May not block out, but like, oh, they get to put the counter on. That's annoying. Sure, still fine. Give them 3 here. It's another 2 afterwards. I keep the boom grenade around next turn, but we can maybe try to disrupt them from playing it. The only issue is like Kraken is so much worse than Shark into Dio. Do I want to now gamble on the gold? Is the question. I think I will gamble. Draw blue, it's like huge. If you don't draw blue, it's fine. Still get send 10. Still get to threaten the on hit here, or the gold on hit at least. Set up King Shark, which is just better. So I think I'm like not even that upset about that. Oh wow, they okay, this might be a scenario where they didn't read the King Kraken. Oh, reasonable. Reading is hard. Right, backup protocol, sure. Okay, another, or they're popping it, sure. I thought they were playing another one off the top. All right. Probably can keep blocking here, assuming that they don't present 8. Actually, did they even have? So they pitched a Cerebellum and they played out a backup protocol. Their entire hand might have been items. But it may not, because they just played a zipper hit. Okay. Never mind. Our opponent is now back to being a bit goofy. For what it's worth, they might have just realized it was overpowered. I think it's a common mistake. Right, so we go to 31, and then we get to at least strip 1 card out of their hand because they have the 9 block in the fridge. So we take 1 card out of them, and then hopefully... let's try to draw like a 3 oak or something. I think that seems a bit more exciting than blues. All right, go ahead and send in 10. They give us presumably some portion of the fridge plus the 3 block, and then we get 2 of our hand nicely here. Oh, draw 3. Okay, it's nice. This kind of seems like a quick dodge flexor's turn. Especially since our hand is good. I think the breakpoints will probably line up nicely on these. At least lines up nicely on the first one here. They are also kind of like fatiguing themselves at the rate they're kind of like that, banishing off the tech partner here. Like we're almost already halfway through the deck. It's pretty deep. Still try to go for like the default plan of just kill them. I think it's a little bit easier than trying to run them out of cards. I think it's like definitely possible. It's always just like a little bit. Oh my god, what happened to that? Oh gosh. Okay, I think I fixed it. Okay. It's always a little bit suspect to like try to run Dio out of cards. It's the only issue. It's a little sketchy. Okay, another boom grenade means we're blocking though. 100% this turn unless they're gonna pass again, which I feel is maybe ill-advised. Okay, backup protocol. They're sure doing stuff over here. Just don't fully know what. Oh my god, they keep hitting the Fast and Furious off the top. That's annoying. But fine. I guess we like give up 1/3 up here. And like dodge. Try not to take a bunch of damage if we don't have to. Still have a good next turn if we get to keep the rest of our hand here. If they just send like that pistol or whatever. But yeah, the Fast and Furious here have been so. I think they banished all 3 of them. Damn, that's crazy. Alright, looks like they're just gonna save the weapon counters, which I think is fair. So let's make a gold, or make a harpoon, discard it. Now you just get to send a King Shark here, which should throw them off kilter a bit. Seems good. You have to go ahead and just dump the hand here. Send 10. Alright, send it for 10. I think we take their T-bone so that we just like leave them with the max fee and then they maybe can't do anything with it. It's like a little greedy, but I think it's like semi-reasonable. Their hand is like garbage. They don't get to have a turn. Okay, Cerebellum off, or pitching max fee, which is at least comforting. Alright, I believe we are incentivized to block because there's 7 damage on the board. You have like Spark that they can play here, Spark, do some nasty things, but can they present 9 damage, I guess, is the main question. Essentially, since I think they have another Boom Grenade in hand, right? Unless I'm hallucinating. I think it's like the last red Boom Grenade is in hand. So they have Boom Grenade in hand, they're drawing it's like singles. You can't double Cerebellum, can they? No, I don't think they can. So yeah, single Cerebellum to a 0/60 at max fee in hand and 1 other unknown card. They're really close to running out of deck at this point, so we might as well try to make them do it. Oh, Pulse Wave, okay, we'll get over the top. That's unfortunate. But not the end of the world here. So we're taking 8 off of this, which is a little sketch. Some pretty good draws off the top. All right, so now I think we're going to try to pivot to the fatigue plan a little bit here. And see where that gets us, because I think currently we're kind of off the back foot off of a ton of boom grenades. Kind of also just like not tried to block the boom grenades, but I feel like there's like a decent percentage chance that actually kind of works out. go ahead and keep blocking. So I only have like 20 cards left in deck, so the question is like whether or not they're going to be able to chain their last couple max fees together. So I'll make them work for it. Expedite, sure. So I kind of am half expecting a max fee here. Like pitch a card, max fee, deal 8, block 2. Okay, makes sense. Seems reasonable enough. Their Cerebellums are at least going away now, which is nice, and we've seen a lot of items off the top. So like, we know they have one red Boom Grenade left in the deck, and then presumably some number of Teklo cores, it looks like. So let's block and just kind of see what happens. I'm kind of curious to see if the strat still kind of works, which I'm imagining it probably does here. Like, they have one max fee in the yard. They have one that they pitch. All right, another Boom Grenade off the top, sure. Annoying, but deal withable. All right, show them, I guess pre-med, don't think it matters. Let's go ahead and just keep blocking here. Keep blocking. All right, they spark for potentially red Boom Grenade here. Or the last Cerebellum. Okay, that might also make sense. Last Cerebellum also pretty good. Looks like they're, oh, they banished a Boom Grenade after the shuffle. Interesting. All right, keep blocking. Would like to block out this last Boom Grenade, but we might not have luxury. Depends on what they do. Draw a card. Sprocket Rocket. Mission, is that last max fee? Maybe they have one more max fee in hand or something like that. Would last max fee kill us? No, right? We would go to 13 exactly. Okay. Go to 13, sure. Or we're going to 2, rather. The opposite of that. But they're on 6 cards in deck, so like they can only boost twice next turn. Little sketchy. This is why I don't like this as like the default plan. But I think it's like the backup plan makes a decent amount of sense. All right, what you got, opponent? So you've seen all the Boom Grenades at this point. I believe, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, do I know their pitch? Wait, do they have another Boom Grenade off the top and I just forgot? Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do we turn over a Boom Grenade? I can't remember what we turned over. How scared are we of Boom Grenade? I don't know if we can be afraid. Unless I know what this card is, which I don't. I think I do, but I don't. Interesting. Probably should have played a little bit more close attention. Yeah, this is why you shouldn't try to critique Dio, I think. All right, 0 to 60. I think that tracks with what I remember. So I don't believe they should have a way to give go again here. Like they can only pistol or play their card in hand. But I think we got it here. Maybe they're trying to like hope we draw like I or something there. It's also reasonable. All right, so last card is Spark of Genius and then like one unknown card. Sure. All right, and we have officially ran them out of cards. So this is something you can do against Dio if they get too aggressive with their Foundry Hearts, but man, you should really not try to do this against Dio. It is too close, I think. It's nice to know that this like backup plan exists, I guess, but it's not something you should strive for. All right, Spark of Genius, and then is there other card like a Teklo Core? Oh, it's a Teklo Trebuchet. Could they have killed me with that last turn? Or no, they had to boost, right? They were like exactly one card short. Gotta be careful playing Dio. Run out of cards very, very quickly. All right, the gun, we block. Sure. We will put them out of their suffering here. Okay, so, man, I guess that like showcases why I don't like doing that into Dio in the sense that I don't like that they have the opportunity to like just kill us anyways. Even like it's more like a backup plan in case the game goes wrong. I feel like we could have probably played the game a bit more aggressive and probably gotten there. Something to note though, like keep in mind that you can do that, but maybe don't try to do that for the aforementioned reason. All right, yeah, but thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. That was again just a little bit of my Nats practice section. We got some pretty good games in there. I guess we learned like a couple of interesting things about like the Gravy and Ziggy matchup that video. But yeah, I think there is still definitely a little bit of improvement to work on. I think I just need to like once I kind of like get settled in Nats, maybe just kind of like lock in and try to focus a little bit more heavily. Since I'm not going to be working as much. All right, but anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all when I get back from nationals. And a special thank you to all the folks who decided it would be a good idea to give us $2 on Patreon. We really appreciate the support, but it's obviously never required.